Hi and welcome to On Point. We were cut off. Hi, teacher. Right. So we were cut off the other day because of operator error, and I finally fixed it. So I think you were talking about the Sanborn building when we were cut off, and I know Teacher B couldn't be here because it's Saturday and she's exhausted from working in, I don't know, 84, 90. How hot was it in your classroom?
At the peak, around Wednesday and Thursday, my classroom was 89 degrees, along with my colleagues.
Yes. So I'm sure she's resting right now. But so anyway, you were talking about the Sanborn building, and I think you wanted to continue talking about that, and you had a couple of other things. So, Teacher A, so what were you saying about the Sanborn building?
Well, I think the big picture was that, the district, their priorities are just not in a line with what's best for students. And it shows all over with what they actually are doing with the money. And I was talking about the Sanborn building. They just redid the whole building. I think they had to go back and do it a second time because they didn't like what was done the first time. And I know it costs a couple of $1 million at the minimum. Okay, this building is beautiful. And if you go inside this huge building, you're going to need a sweater because it's at 68 degrees. And to be honest, half of the building or more is unoccupied. There's no furniture in most of the rooms, and I'm assuming they're just not being used. I don't think people go in there and use an empty room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating because our students in most schools in the Costa Mesa side don't have any air conditioning, and so we're sitting there trying to teach our students in 89-degree weather. And the priority was to spend millions of dollars on a building that's hardly being used. That's just one example. Another example is I heard through the tech department that they're going to be their priority is to make sure every student has a tablet.
Yeah.
Where's the money coming from? What about air conditioning for classrooms so we can actually teach?
Mm-hmm.
Students don't need less interaction with the teacher and to have their noses in a tablet or a computer. They need more interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's not in line with what's best for students.
Right.
The other thing too, I had just recently talked to a few junior high and high school teacher. Again, they're feeling pressure to not give out any D's and F's. And that's because, again, their priorities are skewed and they want to give off this perception of what wonderful things they're doing and how well they're doing to the public.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how hard the teacher works, no matter how much effort they put into the student, if the student still doesn't produce, they are pressured not to give out D's and F's. And it's just not what's good for students. The old saying with students, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to give grades to them for drinking because of the perception of the population. This is just a few examples of the priorities of the district. And again, it's very frustrating for the classroom teacher when we're not being paid what we deserve. We're not getting the benefits that we need.
I know there was a big meeting. In fact, I was there. I know there was a big meeting the other day. And so what do you think? What came across from that meeting? I mean, what did you think?
Well, I think from that meeting and just from my own personal experiences working with the district, I think the teachers and the population of Costa Mesa Newport Beach, they need to stop thinking of the administration and of the board as educators. They are not educators. They are politicians and they are businessmen. And that's how they run their school. Mm-hmm. We are the educators. And we are not getting what we need to teach these kids and to make them progress. The school district needs to invest in their teachers and make them feel worthy of the work that they do. Mm-hmm. They need to give us the benefits that we need and the raise that we deserve.
Mm-hmm. So, do you feel that other teachers feel that way, or is there a majority?
Yeah, I think a lot of teachers try to give them the benefit of the doubt and look at them as educators and try to convey to them, hey, look, we're working so hard. We do so many hours at home. I spend my own money. Can you help me with my pay and my benefits? But I want to get the message out to teachers and to the public that these people, they don't care. Their bottom line is the public's perception, not what's really going on. And money. And where they can spend it to project a scene of the district as being on top.
Do you know what? I know you were talking to people that have been pressured. Have you personally been pressured?
No,
I'm back on the grades again. Have you personally been?
It's a little bit different in the elementary level. But again, at our level, we're getting a new report card that is absolutely ridiculous. It's going to require more time and more effort to compilate all the individual grades for every little standard. And teachers have voiced their opinions and have said that this is, first of all, it's not best for students. Second of all, it's going to be extremely difficult for parents to understand. And third of all, again, it's another way for a district to show the public and the state, wow, look at these wonderful things we're doing. When in reality, it's not what's good for kids, parents, and teachers.
Is there some? Do you know of any other districts that are using a different kind of report card? I mean, is there a simpler report card out there? And is this? I guess I have to ask you if this is a new report card. If this
is, and it's supposed to be rolling out in September.
What was
and a lot of people have given their input of what's wrong with it, and the district has graciously listened and bottom line said, we don't care, we're doing what we want.
So, and the old report card that you were using, was it similar or was it a lot simpler?
We would have preferred to actually simplify the current report card, so it was more in line with the junior high and high school. But they've actually gone the other way.
So on this report card, you have to pick out every individual standard. Can you give me an example of that? Just one thing?
Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Oh, that's
It's online, and we're encouraging everybody to go check it out and make comments.
Right, and you feel the parents will not understand this. Have they understood?
It will be extremely difficult, especially for the Costa Mesa side schools.
Did they understand? Did they come to understand the last report card?
That's even a challenge, and like I said, it's a lot simpler.
Yeah. Wow. Are you having to do any? I guess I want to talk about Common Core, and then I have to go. But are you having much to do with Common Core at this point?
In regards to the units that the Common Core units that the district put together for us for language arts. Well, it wasn't technically the district. The district hired teachers and paid them at $34 an hour to put this whole curriculum together, when in reality they should have hired a real curriculum company for millions of dollars to do it. So they got cheap labor, and the teachers did their very best, and they're okay, but it's not what a curriculum company would have done.
Where is
it's
this?
Hard, because we need to go back and fix it and work out the challenges of it, because the district couldn't spend the money where it needed to be spent.
So ultimately what will the district do you think, with all of the work of the teachers for $34 an hour?
They're going to pay them $34, and then they're going to implement it in the classroom, which they already have, and they're going to make the classroom teacher fix it.
Right, but I'm saying, but this whole, but I'm saying this
fix it on the fly, or expect us to go home and work on it on our own time, and not pay us any more for it.
I see. So but once they get this curriculum all together for all the grades and everything, what do you know what the district plans to do? Is it going to sell this curriculum? Is it going to become a part of something else? Does it belong to the company that is ultimately going to be that did the rubric for it, or do you even know?
My impression was it was just for the classroom teacher to use to teach the Common Core standards in language arts.
Okay.
But again, who knows?
Don't know.
I couldn't say. I mean, with the past mentality of the district, I wouldn't put it past them to try to market it and to try to sell it or even give it to other districts to say, look, what a wonderful thing we did, and we got slave labor out of it.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say? I've got about another minute and a half.
Bottom line, the district needs to focus on what's best for students and stop trying to showboat for the community. They need to do what's best for kids, and they can do that by investing in their teachers and investing in what's best for students. And you can do that by talking to the people that are in the trenches. That's the teachers.
Thank you so much, Teacher A, because I know that I mean, it's risky. It's risky to speak out, and most teachers really don't want to do that because they're afraid of retribution. And I really admire you for doing it, and really appreciate your coming on. So thank you and tell Teacher B I hope she gets a good rest. Thank you, Teacher.
I will.
Thank
you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.